I would like to introduce our last guest speaker, Mertol Genç. He has a background in business, economics, and finance, and he has more than 18 years of experience in the financial sector as well as in airport sector in Turkey and abroad. He is the CEO of IGA Istanbul Grand Airport. So welcome, Mertol Genç.
Good afternoon. I believe this is the last presentation, and I'm not going to make it very long. But due to the curiosity, actually, I will be highlighting actually the case as it is, as a Turkish citizen and also one of the executive of the project. All respected, and also it's a privilege being at the university. And personally myself, within my business career, I used to work also within the Ozyegin group at the bank, very proud of it. And after that, to the aviation business, I jumped, and since many years actually working for the sector. Respected Hatice Hanım, and also respected colleagues, respected speakers, participants, and their students. The project, since 5 years actually, we are dealing with this project, to tell the truth, and also during the aviation circle, internationally, globally, actually, when we were at the airport, events, seminars, conferences, all global experts were talking about the project is a challenging one. Challenging means, as a definition, I mean, consisting of everything, but everything. And after that, it became, as a word, promising, and now it's a lovely project, which means actually, at least people believing that we will be achieving actually to make it complete. The presentation. Yes. There will be actually a short explanation about the SPV company, Special Purpose Vehicle, the project company, IGA, Havalimanı İşletmesi, Airport Operations, Airport Management, Turkey overview, but I am going to overlap this part because the other experts, good friends, actually indicated very well, and global Turkish aviation industry, and I will be coming to the point, to the new Istanbul airport. And about the name and definition, I want to correct, it's not the third airport, it's the Istanbul new airport. The name not being publicized yet, it's not a job of the investor, it will be indicated, it will be actually publicized, released by the, of course, but the governmental bodies. But since the Ataturk airport will be getting closed, and also this airport will be getting opened, and there would be a massive, big transition, which never been done within the aviation history. This airport cannot be acknowledged as the third airport. We rather prefer to say it Istanbul New Airport now. Istanbul case, very well indicated. I'm not going to actually give so much explanation about it, but growing patently. I mean, this is since 12 years, 15 years, actually the aviation market is growing very well. And this is due to very simple reason. There exists a strong base carrier, flag carrier, THY, starting from 2000, having another path, another business plan, another vision, and they started actually, increased their fleet, and they increased their connectivity, and they came to this point. And at the moment, fair to say, it is the most connected airport all over the world, and also one of the biggest fleet, having the fleet portfolio. The project key dates, we have to start. I mean, it's a long process. I mean, this kind of tenders are very, very tough. I mean, to deal with it, to work with it. I mean, the tender case, there was also international appetite. From the beginning of the story, 15 different consortiums, as far as we know, from the rumors, from the market, from the public release. They investigated a lot, but such a big infrastructure project is not easy to deal with. And 3 big consortiums participated, and one of them was our consortium. And we've been selected as the preferred bidder at the beginning of the story. This is actually the 2013. And after the 2013, once actually being selected as the preferred bidder, we did the necessary things, proceedings and legal proceedings, and we already established our company, October 2013. And after that, November 2013, we established we signed the concession agreement. First, you are the state or the guarantor, which is the DHMI, Devlet Hava Meydanları İşletmesi, requiring you to establish a proper company for that, and after that you are signing the concession agreement. And the concession agreement, we can discuss many hours about it. I mean, it's a very proper document. It's actually the constitution of this project. And the project is a BOT term project, and design, build, finance, operate, transfer term. And there exists a logic in between, and there exists lots of mechanisms. And the master plan submitted March 2014. After that, we will be actually doing the necessaries. Actually, the site possession not done yet, will be done shortly. We are expecting actually this year, and after that we will be starting actually to the construction period. And the construction period for the initial phase is 42 months, and once actually the airport is getting up and running, we will be having a 25 years concession time, operation time. The consortium members, Cengiz, MAPA, Limak, Colin, Kalyon, many construction projects, development projects, and also concession projects within the energy sector, within the infrastructure, transportation and logistic, and also so many other sectors, tourism included. They actually did many valuable projects in Turkey and abroad. The project organization during the investment period, like indicated, is a complex project. I mean, the complex project cannot be managed without having a proper organizational structure, being established by the guarantor. And these are being shaped during the tender case, how the structure has to be. The IGA is the concession company, the guarantor is the DHMI, responsible from everything, all the coordination. And this includes also all the ministries, all the relevant governmental bodies, and fair to say, at the moment we are communicating with almost all of the governmental bodies, as you can imagine. Minister of Tourism, Minister of Transportation, Minister of Industry, Minister of Economics, and so on. And the CMLKK is the construction GV, being established by the same consortium, equal split, equal shareholding, and arm's length basis, a EPC contract being signed between the parties, which means design build being shifted to the construction part, and build, finance, operate is our obligation. And many parties, insurers, financial institutions, lenders, technical advisors, so on. I mean, it's a very detailed scope and also definitions. Consultants, we have many. And also the aviation partners. We, as the only a newborn established company, cannot manage this kind of projects without having the aviation industry. And the aviation industry in Turkey is mature and well developed. Project consultants, we are working on many of them. The Arup, very reputative corporate English firm, is the master planner, and so on the others. Lee Fisher is also another one, chief consultant. Districon is very, very important Dutch company from cargo logistic for the master planning. Intervista is for the business planning. NACO is also another Dutch consultant, and so on, many aviation partners. From for operation, for design, for master planning, and for construction, for engineering. Hill for the project management, all of them are valuable. And for the environmental concerns, we have a steering committee established. Our main partner in this respect is the Environ, which is also a British company. And international environmental impact assessment study is being managed, is being generated. Turkey overview, I will be also skipping. I mean, the aviation industry is always high, always up, very attractive, and always, there exists always continuous growth. That's why about the competition, I will come to the point. I took my notes. The competition is within the market tough, but if you do your job well, I mean, you are doing things much more easier. The GDP being discussed, expected economic growth. The recession, by the way, I mean, the airport industry, or actually the aviation industry is one of the industry, the correlation is very limited with the recessions. There exist so many recessions that we captured, that we noted within the 30 years time, but the recovery time is better than the other industries in this respect. This includes also 7-Eleven. The demographics, the Turkey case, urbanization, the population, these are well-known indicative figures and also statistics and also some evaluations here that but I'm going to overlap. The tourism is becoming bigger and bigger in Turkey. Why? Because Turkey, within the last 30 years, experienced how to manage, how to operate, how to actually do the necessaries. And please look at the Antalya. We did the good things, we did the bad things, but we came to the point at the moment actually over 35 million tourists coming to our country. This is, in comparison with the Paris, is not enough. I mean, Paris is, if I am not mistaken, more than 50 million, 55, only Paris. But still, there exists such a room to growth because the connectivity is not at the optimum level in Turkey. We are not talking about actually the coast side, the sun-sea tourism, the cultural, and also I created too much empathy about actually the global cultural city concept, like you indicated. Actually, this is an Istanbul case. Istanbul not being presented well or not familiar to the all markets, fair to say. Whether actually to America market, whether the Asian market, very common, like Paris case, like London case, there exists actually room to grow. Also some statistics. This is, I believe, an important figure. Sorry. Can you? Pointer hangisi? Rica etsem. Biliyor musunuz? Tamam, teşekkür ederim. The Istanbul 2013 largest global city destination by overnight visitor. Istanbul with over 10 million figure standing at the rank of 6th. And still growing. I don't know the 2014 figures, but this is a study being done by the MasterCard, and I believe it's valuable. Turkey tourism, the forecast is also, sorry. Pardon. Okay. Now it's the part development of aviation industry. The global aviation industry is one of the also attractive industry, as you can imagine. I mean, I don't know whether all our respected students are from the circle of the Faculty of Aviation here, but you did it well. You already choose a very good industry. You will be having in Turkey, and also it's global. Either you will be working in Turkey or you will be working abroad. If you have the strength actually to work, to have the encourage actually to be a part of it, I mean the aviation industry is big enough to welcome you. And the average growth, of course, subject to the region, subject to the continent, it's really growing materially. I mean, 20-year world annual traffic growth is almost 5%. But as you can note here, the Asia Pacific, the Asian market is growing a lot, which actually we have less connectivity at the moment. And this is also one of the important slides that we introduced, the center of gravity of aviation. If you look at actually, if you evaluate the aviation market is growing 1970s, I mean at least here it is indicated, I mean it is getting shifted to the west. And if you look at to 2014, the center of gravity of the aviation is close to Turkey, which means there exists as unit-wise, as price sensitivity-wise, as destination-wise, as logistic-wise, actually Turkey stands at a good point. Turkish aviation market already been indicated well, and the frequencies within the last 15 years, the frequencies are getting bigger. There exists a strong-based national carrier, and there exist also low-cost carriers within the market, and we feel confident in this respect. The potential of Turkish aviation industry and the Istanbul case, if we refer, of course, the figure is from 2013, the Ataturk airport, a very valuable one. The BOT projects started, from my perspective, with the Ataturk International Airport. And the Ataturk International Airport at that time was visionary. And with too much expansion, it being introduced to the market. And one of the maybe key point that actually the aviation is growth in such a manner. Without Ataturk Airport, without Ataturk Airport's developers, we wouldn't be having actually the same scenario. And at the moment it's 57 million, and with a high probability they are going to end up this year 60 over 65. Destinations from Istanbul airports. This might be even, because when I configured it with my colleagues, this figure, total destinations 260, I believe it's more at the moment. And it's already been discussed and well explained to you. Within the 5 hours, there exists 212 destinations, and 3 hours, 125 destinations. It is, and this is a good scenario. This is center of gravity, center of aviation. And also the conceptual discussions about the point-to-point or the hub, the network traffic. Advantages, disadvantages, I am quite sure your respected instructors, actually your lecturers, they are indicating it well during the lessons. I am not going to make it actually very boring to you, but fair to say, Turkey having also very strong point-to-point traffic. And hub and we say spoke network. We have within the aviation circle is very global. I mean, the Düsseldorf general manager or the Manchester or general manager, I mean airport managers, they are friends and we are talking continuously. I mean, this is the trend. Because each city cannot manage one airport. There needs to be a centralization. But centralization to a certain extent that there should be a financial, operational feasibility. And there has to be also a logic. Whether in Johannesburg you might be centralizing actually the operations, why not? But logistic-wise it would be difficult. There exist also for the hub scenario advantages and disadvantages. And the disadvantages is the congestions at the hub airports. Very difficult to cope with the business requirements. Airport business is up very fast and you are running all the time with your all contractors. It's very commercial and it has to be visionary. This is the market. Sorry for saying, some within the events, maybe lots of people introducing, it's like a shopping, it's not a shopping center. It is such an important sector and you are serving to the people. It's, I will public sector, being maybe held by the private investors, but doesn't matter. I mean, it has to be done based on the safety and security standards. There has to be an optimal point that you have to run, but you shouldn't forget the safety security. This is the first. And it's very difficult at the hub simulations to cope with the requirements. This passenger inconveniences, this is also another scenario. I mean, this is whether the walking distances is digestible. I am quite sure many of you already experienced the big hub relevant airports and the walking distances are big. Whether it's comfortable for everyone, it is also negotiable, discussable. And the delays, because based on the wave structure, based on the scenario, if actually it's very big hub and also too much passenger circulation during the day, whether it can be managed, it can be processed easily, because the airports are very interconnected, all the systems, all the sector, all the cooperation partners. It's not only the terminal, it's not only the car park, it's not only the security or the airside traffic management or not only the plane. Everybody should interconnected do the necessaries in order to give a convenient, safe and also comfortable flight. Sometimes if you have a delay having an impact. Like here, if we have a delay, we will be also shifting the program. Just imagine for the Istanbul case, for the new airport, we are talking about not less than 600,000 air traffic movement at the initial phase, and which means a big simulation if you have a delay, and it would be not easily recorrected. And this is why we are working for Istanbul Hub competition. It was discussed and I took some notes. It's a very broad topic. But if you look at the figures, Istanbul, Dubai, Doha, Abu Dhabi case, the CAGRs between 2005-2013, it's same. And whether at the hub competition, whether we will be actually catching, we will be taking actually the Dubai passengers, or they will be actually, this is not important. We are not seeing as in between the competitors, these airports. And they have different kind of strategy, different kind of investors, different culture, and also different flag carriers. All the strategies are different, and we believe the aviation market and the demand till 2030s, and also the aviation industry believing it statistically, at least actually if we believe the Airbus, the Boeing statistics and also the reports till 2030s, there exists massive appetite to the new airports, which means there exists demand, like the Turkish industry. And we are talking in 2023, the airport, at the moment, it's over 150 million passengers is being processed within the Turkish aviation. And in 2023, it is assumed it would be close to the 300 million. These are actually the official numbers that the state introducing, or actually the DHMI. That's why it's a very broad term, but I believe during the session, we might be actually touching to this one more time. As the Istanbul new airport, what we want to change? The location, if you want to build a greenfield airport, you need space. We are talking about over 60 kilometers square such a space. The airport is big, it has to be close. You cannot build the airport due to the strong point-to-point traffic to 300 kilometers far from Istanbul. You cannot do that. This was the most possible available space that we might insert to the project, that we might introduce. And as the investor, it was not our obligation. Actually, it was decided by the state, and after that, we do the necessaries to build, to develop such an airport. Phased master plan. The master plan is very important, I will tell the truth. I mean, whether actually for the Istanbul case, the mixed type, airport type, actually, the old configuration will be used, or a new greenfield airport, there is no discussion from my perspective, because the demand is so huge, you cannot cope with the requirements. In 1998, actually, such a very nice and also visionary airport, like the Istanbul airport, introduced to the market, over 250,000 square meters. At the moment, it reached 350, maybe 400. And at that time, nobody talked about anything about the hub scenario, about the transit passenger flow, about the circulation. At that time, even today, we are talking about almost 7,000 square meters at the air side, at the Ataturk airport, commercial area, duty-free area. Now we introduce 50,000. Because you need a new design. You need a greenfield project. If you look at the all airports within the industry, the big airports, I also refer to Heathrow, to Amsterdam Schiphol, Charles de Gaulle. These are expansions, and the expansions are difficult to manage the master plan. 50 years, 80 years establishment. What we do is here, with all intellectual capacity globally, with many experts, do the necessaries from scratch. Of course, it's difficult, not easy to cope. The first phase, yes, one terminal, 90 million capacity, 2 runways. Immediate after, we will be introducing the 3rd runway, and the airport very soon. We will be also shifting early. There will be actually 3 independent runways to be introduced. And after that, the phase 2, another runway, and the phase 3 terminal, and also configured the other facilities, supporting facilities. And the last phase includes also a satellite terminal and also the last runway, which means within the ultimate master planning, we will be having 6 runways and 3 terminals. This includes also the cargo logistic. Summary of phasing of the plans. Some statistics you will be seeing at the market. And also some terminal demand capacity. 90 million, 120, 150, and 180. I mean, why we actually introduced 180? Because the simulation, our terminal simulations, our runway, airside simulations are coping with the requirement 180. It is expandable. If you want to do that, if there will be appetite, it is not difficult to achieve. And the passenger terminal, the big one, the initial one, domestic, international, at the same terminal. These are the walking distances. Close to the 500 meter, which is good for the benchmark for this kind of airport. And also some figures, and also the entrance, the land side is very problematic for this kind of hub airports. That's why we simulate with the local and international consultants. You might have noted many times at our airports or in any other airports all over the world that this is very difficult situation, and there exists also very cultural points. Having 20 lane in front of the terminal not solving your problem. Departing passenger flow, the ideal is just straight on the ground and one laning, no flooring. The piers, we introduced the piers. You are not going to, this is the departing, this is the arriving. The arriving will be at the upper level, which this would be also, this is the logic is actually for as an arrival passenger, you are immediately, just remembering, immediately going to the down level, which is also not refreshing, which is not actually welcoming. We totally change it. And also another simulation. So many, I mean, there needs to be time and also appetite to introduce you hundreds of slides. The project is big and there exist big simulations and there exists a big team working for it. The terminal parking area, it's also, I mean, totally a project. You can work 2 years for this only. And there would be also, from Gayrettepe, from the central, there would be a metro connection and it would be reachable with 4 stations in 22 minutes. And what would be new? We are also looking to the market and what is visionary. Till 2020 is what has to be introduced. Technology, of course. And we are not talking about only fingerprint actually access or this kind of things. I mean, the simulation is important always. The master plan, the design, the commercial and also technological vision. Some of them, the iBeacon technology is very up within the aviation industry. You will be having the possibility, if you land to the airport, you will be having the capability to see the airport. You want to reach to a store, you will be finding that these are already very natural and already within the market. But what if you land the airport, if you want to look at actually at the duty-free floor, one good nice store that you want to make shopping, they are showing the store while you are working, you have the capability to buy. Or you have the capability, what is inside in the store, whether actually the systems are interconnected, working collectively, and you have the allowance actually to see what is available from their inventory. Is there any airport doing it nowadays all over the world? No. But we will try. And the next generation security is a must, mandatory. 3 years after, 5 years after, with the flexibility, we are not going to use this kind of systems. You are not going to wait because flying is an expensive journey in this respect. Might be €1 or at least it's a challenging story, challenging journey. That's why you shouldn't have any inconveniences. And also, I believe we will be introducing actually the new standards for the check-in, for the security, and for the control of the airport. And some images, the images we are working continuously. I mean, the terminal design, the conceptual design is not mature yet. It's a continuous process, and the design consortium, there exist British design companies, Norwegians, and also Turkish consortium members. And the airport, we are not defining the airport, only the airport operation and only the terminal and the runways. The airport, this is a passenger hub. and also respectively it would be a cargo and logistic hub. We refer to the airport support facilities, and we will be serving to the industry because they know from the mature, developed Turkish market what to do, and they are going to start from scratch to develop as a master planning. At the moment, all the industry working for the project, right? Everybody is simulating how they will be actually developing their business at the new airport. Cargo city, the cargo city with the capacity of over 5 million ton per year, this is bigger than Dubai. And the maintenance aircraft and THY technique respectively having a big plan. Airport city, there exists some airport city developments within the market, within the sector, and there exist good ones, commercial ones, visionary ones. We are not talking about residential. We are talking about offices, hotels, hospitals, and convention center. Do we need a convention center, conference center, a big one, a structured one, like the Frankfurt case, Munich case, Düsseldorf case, London case? Yes, we know. Actually, we need it. And this might be a good potential also for Turkey, for Istanbul. Free trade zone, this is also another big vision and business plan. All the trading, production, storage, assembly, banking, and also so on many others. You know the free trade zone concept very well. I mean, we want to introduce this before 2020s. And the airport city zone, some very preliminary, because at the moment we are refraining ourselves actually to submit any big data, any big master before actually completing it, before seeing the ultimate designs. After that, everybody will be knowing in a transparent manner. But it's also a big plan. The airport city, there exists always at the airport some airport city, but this is big. This is visionary. This is almost a city. And it would be serving to the industry. What would be the economical impact of this airport? At the moment at the Ataturk airport, we assume over 50,000 people are working, being employed. And we assume at the moment, preliminary, over 120,000 people will be working at this airport. Connectivity, very important, especially in Istanbul. We continue to work with the bodies, with the governments, with the governmental bodies. We continue to simulate it. Because, like indicated, even 20 laning in front of the terminal is not solving your problem. That's why this greenfield projects making you eligible to simulate your plan with the phasing. And the strategy with the phasing, whenever actually the demand will be getting increased and the infrastructure will be renewed, will be expanded. And there would be, of course, third bridge. The third bridge project is very important. And the rail network is very important. The high-speed train from Ankara to Istanbul and will be going to Europe. And the Gayrettepe new airport line is also very key. And light rail link and so on the others. But like indicated, it has to be very well connected for the point-to-point traffic to the city. A few words about the environmental management system. From the beginning of the story, although we are not publicizing, we are not doing too much marketing, actually we do the necessaries. The environmental impact assessment being done, I mean, we have also a project committee consisting of many professors from the local market, from the international market. Even we have professors from Canada, from US. Regularly, actually, this kind of people, I mean, for different kind of matters, for the radar thing, for the bird thing, for the noise thing, for the air quality thing, and we assess carefully. And also we are trying to implement actually the mitigation programs. 2 phases, the construction, after that the operation period. It's a very big topic and I am going to skip actually due to the time. Why Istanbul New Airport? Consolidation at the center, strategic and unique geographical location, because without having the center of gravity, without having such a logistic advantage, it wouldn't be, without having a strong based flag carrier, it is not achievable. Well-established aviation market and industry practices, we have to believe, we have to trust in the aviation industry in Turkey. Turkey is doing well, processing well in Turkey at the aviation. And a strong national flag carrier is a must, the mandatory thing, and THY is one of the key elements. Welcoming environment to other flag and low-cost carriers, how? If there is a slot availability, you can welcome, of course. And our new airport will be giving this option to welcome the new markets. This is not only the Turkish Airlines airport, this would be also a global airport to be introduced to the market. We assume at the initial phase, when we open the airport, there would be more than 350 destinations, close to 400 maybe, and 150 airlines to be served from our airport. And unrestricted slot availability, competitive and well-designed tariff structure, and labor cost strong, blah, blah, blah, many things, and also technology airport infrastructure, and potential for business growth of the aviation markets, expanding the non-aviation business activities. And also, it has to be, of course, visionary and commercial, because there needs to be such a space, there needs to be such a correlation. The passenger journey is something has to be done in a convenient manner. Once you feel unstressed, once you feel safe, once you are sure that your flight will be not missed, you will be actually making your shopping. It would be a visionary in terms of design, in terms of the also retail business, in terms of F&B and duty-free. It would be an international airport, global airport, not only cultural one. And you will be seeing many, many good things. Even we cannot make noodle like the Asian friends. Actually, they can do better us. And that's why we want to introduce actually very good companies. If they have the appetite to be a part of it, we will be welcoming them. It's a big project. It's a very challenging, tough project, but you should know, for the sake of the project, there exist 1,000 people, engineers, business developers, finance people, working for the project at our companies, and our aim is to make it complete end of 2017. Let's hope for the good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Genç. We can have just one question and then move directly to roundtable if you have any. And so, yes, please.
Hello, thank you for your attendance for the conference again. I would like to, I'm very curious about one day the Istanbul Grand Airport will be open, and at the same time the Istanbul Ataturk Airport has been done, finished and closed. How will you manage this closing and opening at the same time, and how will you, what's your scenario about that?
Good. It's following. It's very key question. Based on the tender scenario, like indicated, the Ataturk Airport will be getting close to the commercial flights, and our airport will be getting opened. It's a big simulation, and 90 million capacity airport will be getting opened, which means we assume 80 million passenger circulation at that time. And we are not thinking very serious. We are not going to do that in 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year, or 2 years, or 5 years, such a soft opening. We will be doing in weeks. And that's why, with international consultants, with our competent, actually capable companies, the simulation is being executed at the moment. It's a big simulation, and without the assistance, without actually the cooperation of the aviation industry, we cannot do that. Don't think that actually our new companies will be doing it alone. there exists also capable good companies, and within the aviation industry, they will be shifting within the short time. And there exists, after the construction phase, the testing and commissioning period, which is also having such a big correlation with the ORAT, actually, with the operational readiness. This is actually the, I did it several times at different airports in Africa, in Eastern Europe, and it's a very big, tough job to do that. However, whether it's achievable, I hope actually we will do that within the short time. We are continuously working. It's one of the key things to be done, and we will be successful in this respect. Of course, but it was not done before within the aviation industry at this size, I would say. But the main thing is the ORAT. ORAT with international consultants, with the SOPs, with the proper management, with actually the new human resource that you are going to allocate to the market, to the airport, with training starting from 18 months before, I believe it's achievable. Within a couple of weeks, there will be a smooth and safe transition from Ataturk to new airport. Yes, we are working. I said that we started.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Genç.